Alright guys, here we go. Day 2. Let me quickly jump on my phone here, make sure we are live. I just got a notification right there, so I think that means we are live. Go to my channel. Is the microphone working? Yes, microphone's working. We got live. Yep. Boom. Nice. Okay, let's get to work. Day 3, actually. This is day 3 of working on this file. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and kill that now. And let's bring up this quickly here. And one other quick check. Make sure the server is not on. I don't think I turned the server on. Of course not. Nope, not on. I don't know what's that before. It used to default. It used to come on all the time. Okay. And let me quickly do a... Just want to make sure everything's working properly. It's been a while. Oh, I didn't know that he was on that show. Let's jump into the stream and do a quick text. Oh, there it is. I just saw it. Alright. I think today we're going to try to be working on finishing up some more glass and then tires probably. Yes, now it's working. Yesterday the text wasn't working, so I couldn't even know who was in. Alright, cool. Let's get to work. Alright, again, working on this render challenge for my community. I need to get this Porsche fully textured out and stuff for the kind of like the render challenge that I'm doing. So let's get back to where on this. Server should be working now, right? Or did I don't think I turned it on. Oh yeah, I did. Cool. Boom. There we go. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Using the HDRI dome again. If I didn't tell you guys that, I got the HDRI dome in here. And I'm actually using some of the pre-built-in LUTs from Octane that come ship with Octane. Oh, for a second. There we go. Hang on for a second. Oh, nice. Text is working. Hey, man, love your videos, but I see that your reading is a bit funky. Is it your eyes? You okay? No, I'm getting old. It's called getting old, and yeah, reading and all that is becoming harder with I have to wear these like old man glasses. Yeah, it totally sucks, dude. Like, how old are you? Mid 20s? Once you hit mid late 40s like me, the eyesight starts to go, and it sucks. And then you gotta wear one of these all the time because your back hurts. Take care of your body if you're young and now, and you know, really get out there. That's why I gotta get out there and take care of my body. If you have no health, you have no life. Yep. All right, let's get it. Ooh, actually, I like that view. I didn't see. I'm gonna make an add-on. Like right now, see how that I had the camera live view was on, but like I didn't realize it, so I moved the mouse thinking I was going to break out of the camera like this. So I want to make an add-on that whenever you tick that, like I just want to make it like something lets me know that we are in that live mute camera view, just like maybe an outline, a red outline or something. I don't know. I need to work on that. That's my next add-on I'm gonna work on. But here's the HDRI dome I'm using, guys. You know, it works out pretty nice. And then quickly to show you the LUTs, how you use the LUTs. So if you come into, I think right here, by default, it's response curve, right? And you can see I'm using Kodak Gold. These are all that come shipped with Octane. They're already in here, right? So for example, I can change it up. Let me come over here. We can change it up like, watch. See, and then if you hold down Control and then mouse down, or hold down Shift. Was it Shift? Yeah, you hold down Shift, I think. No, hold down Control. Yeah, Control. You can cycle through them, all the different LUTs. FYI, if you just didn't know that. So, for example, I like to use the Kodak Gold. It's kind of like one of my go-tos, or the Kodak Ektachrome. Any of the Kodak Ektachrome series, you know. And then you can even control the LUT strength right here. So there's 0. Oh, hello. LUT strength's not working. Yep, I'm 21. Understand, respect it. Cool thing you pushed yourself, man. Dude, I mean, like, I'm gonna push to the day I die, man. You only got one life to live. Don't live in regret. So I'm pushing until the day I die. And you know, I have a daughter, so I'm pushing even harder for her, to leave her with something, right? Man, 21 is a good age, man. You've got a lot of time, and like, if you can get ahead of the game, start focusing on your body, your mind, start teaching yourself skills, AI. You know, you can, man, start teaching yourself. Always be learning something. Taking care of your body and feeding your brain. If you do those two things, you can do almost anything in life. All right. It took me. I didn't realize that until I literally moved out here to Japan. Moving out here to Japan has literally changed my whole mind and everything. So I wasted. I didn't waste, but I didn't take opportunity of some of the things and other stuff I had in life. You know, now I'm in my late 40s. I'm like 48. I just turned 48, but it's like I'm like, all right, that's good. That was my starting point. So let's get to work. So, all right, sorry guys, I'm playing with LUTs. We're supposed to be working. I got exactly an hour. I got to get on this. Okay, so today, let me turn the LUTs off. I don't want any of that on there right now. Go back to, just press over here, hover over it, and have backspace. Boom, there we go, back to normal. I just did that because I took a snapshot for the thumbnail. I didn't finish. I think we did finish all of these and this. I still wanted to do some more work on the headlights, but we're gonna get 80-20. Let's get 80% there, and then we'll come back and tweak for that last 20%. We got glass in. Oh, you know what I want to work on was these disc right here. Yep, let's isolate those. Yeah, those look boo-boo. And let me turn off the dome right now because I don't want to see that right now. I just want it straight there. Okay, so this, I actually have a material that I brought in from my other project, my Audi project that I made some. So we're going to import, I think I already have them imported in here. No, I guess I don't. Let's go ahead and save this as day 3. And let's import, append. Ah man, where was that file? I think I wrote it down yesterday. Where's that paper at? 2024 November. 2024 November. So whenever I do daily renders, guys, I keep them all in this daily render folder. And I just keep, I'll quickly just show you how I okay man, I'm letting you crush it. Tiny question though. I hate work with volume in Octane. Denoising is really a problem. Can you please create a video about it? Can't sub to Skool. Sorry. That's all right. That's all good. It's all good. But I will once I have money to spend. He. So, yep. If you go to Starbucks, stop going to Starbucks. That's how I saved money. Literally, I stopped going to Starbucks. That saved me $60 a month. I brew my own coffee now for free. Or not for free, but, you know, I pay $6 for a bag of coffee that lasts me a month. Denoising. I got free stuff for you though too. Hang on. Let me just get this file appended in just before I forget. Gotta keep on this. So I go into my daily renders. Let me quickly show the file structure. Daily renders from 2023, 2024, 2025. I always keep each year. And then I keep each month. So anytime I make anything in Blender, I keep it in its own month. Bro, on the glass, you need to add thickness to the glass object for Octane in your render realistic. Yeah, I know. This is an OBJ model that I got from somewhere. So right now I'm trying to get all the materials on it, and then I'm going to come back 80-20. I'm doing the 80-20 rule. Get it 80% there, and we'll come back and fix that last 20% later. I can't really use fog because it's useless with volume cube. Actually, no, it's not. You just got to figure out how to set it up, and I've experimented many months on that. Okay, hang on. November, Audi render Skool file, materials. Yeah, hang on, bro. I got you on that. Here it is. And that's another thing when I'm doing projects and I work on a custom material. Anytime I'm on a project and I make a custom material where I've spent a lot of time on that material, I automatically save that as an asset. And all of these materials, these ones here, I did it while I was working on the project, like carbon fiber. I was like, you know what? I might need this later. So I immediately saved it as an asset, took a screenshot, added a cover to it. So I always got materials I can go back to later. For example, like here. Now I'm going to go to break this material. We're going to append this end. And then we'll come in here and add in our break this material. There it is, break this material. Nope. I didn't hit break this material. Break this. No, that's not it. I just saw it. Break. There it is, break disk. Getting a little bit of lag from the viewport, which is interesting. All right, so that already gets me halfway there, and then what I'll do is come back in there and start tweaking on this a little bit later. But for now, I just want to 80-20. I just want to get the materials on the car and get the car 80% there, and we'll come back and start tweaking glass and doing all that other stuff. That actually still doesn't look like the right material. Yeah, it is. That's it. I just need to do some tweaking to it. All right, and then let me quickly save this. Now, going back to your question about fog. Yeah, I've got plenty of fog videos, bro. Let's go to the channel really quickly. Oh, what is this? Just gotta stay focused. Can't get distracted by YouTube. Octane, fog. Oh, actually, this is Octane Blender. Sorry. Octane Blender, fog. All right. Have you seen this video? Take a look at this video. And where's the chat at? There it is. Take a look at that. This was another one, very good one. This guy, he's actually in my community. He just joined recently. Well, actually, yeah. So take a look at this. This is how I learned how to do fog 2 from his video. Hang on. Copy. And what else? What was another good one? Oh, this is me again doing more fog, doing the fog cube and stuff. Again, that's what the community is basically doing. It's accelerating all of the time that I spent like a year ago. All of this time trying to figure out how to do this stuff, guys. I'm just, don't think about when you're joining the community that you have to pay, like, oh my God, I'm paying. You're paying for accelerated, it's a time tax. It took me years to learn this. You're going to learn it in a couple of weeks, right? That's what you're paying for. A lot of people think like, oh my God, I can't. No, you're paying a time tax. You're just paying to learn things quicker, okay? Boom, there it is. Take a look at those videos. Those should help you out. All right. let's get on back onto these tires. Something else I don't like here is, let's see what's going on with the logo here, and we got these bolts. Yeah, we're just gonna focus a little bit here on tire for a moment. I clearly do not like that material, but we'll worry about that later. What is this material? Does this need material? This is flat black. Let's give that the black matte. Oh, that's plastic, but I don't want it. We shouldn't use the plastic there. Let's go to metals. What are brake discs made out of? Iron or steel? What are brake discs made out of? Huh? They're pretty much a composite. Most of the time they're composites. Like a composite mixture. What are brake discs made out of? What kind of material? Try new AI mode. Switch to weather. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Just give me the results I want. Brake discs are made out of materials that can withstand extreme heat, balance. Best for standard cover. Common brake disc material, gray casted iron. Okay, yeah, high carbon. I knew that. Carbon fiber iron, carbon ceramic. When you start getting into like Formula One and stuff, right? Okay, so iron. We're gonna stick with that iron. Let's go. I do have an iron material metal that I made. Iron dirty right here. You know what? I really think I'm gonna switch the brake disc to iron dirty. Let's try it. Yeah, I like the iron dirty better. And then we're gonna do these bolts the same thing. Iron dirty. Yep, I like that. That's nice. Okay. This brake disc, I don't want it to be the same color. Brake caliper. I followed your volume cube video, man, but I am having problems with rendering it. My animation is really bulky, noisy, and using Blender Compositor denoiser. I do have 2,000 samples and it's 4K. Yeah, 2,000. I don't know. I need to see the render. I need to see what's going on. But typically, most people don't use enough render samples, and also they don't have the proper render settings. Like out of the box, Octane needs to be tweaked a little bit. Like it's like a Ferrari. You can't just jump in it and fire it up. Like you got to warm it up. The oil needs to be warmed up and all this stuff, right? So literally, like I have, that's one thing I built was a bunch of presets for my, see, I've got high end, low end GPU settings, my default, my preference settings. If we go into my preference settings, I can just quickly show you what, and like again, this is scene dependent, like, but this is just what I start off with. Minus the 500 samples. Typically, I'm always going to crank that up to, like, it just depends on the sample. It depends on the render and what I got going on in the scene. But these are my low minimum baseline starting setups here. And then again, like once I know I'm going to have something that's a little bit more heavy, I come into my high sample setup, which I'm basically starting at 1,000. I'm starting at 12, 24, 12. Also make sure you have your GI clamp below 100. I set mine at 10. Then I also turn on my adaptive sampling. That needs to be set up to maximize your render time adaptive sampling. And then I also use my denoiser, which I come in here and I'll use the open denoiser. I got it set to balance right now, and then do everything out. But yeah, you gotta tweak the settings a little bit, definitely out of box. I don't know what your file looks like or what's going on in your scene, but typically most files that I encounter, people are way under sample. And then again, lighting, like your lighting can really wreck your render. Like if you don't have your lights properly set up properly, and you can make more noise using bad lighting. That's what I get in one frame from 200. That's what I get. It's one frame from 200. I don't understand what you're saying there. That's what I get. It's one frame from 200. One frame of 200 frames. You're rendering basic. So you're doing 2,000 samples for one frame at 4K. Well, then again, 4K is gonna, no matter what, even when I do 4K, it's like double the time. Like it's way more. I always ask people, do you really need 4K? Like I make so many renders and people are like, oh man, is this 4K? I'm like, no, it's HD. Like if it's gonna be on social media or Instagram or something, like there's no need for 4K. Instagram will even destroy it. Like it will crunch it down. YouTube will crunch it down. Like why are you going to 4K? What I would ask is like, is your final output for a client and they're gonna be putting it on TV or something? Why are you doing it 4K? That would be my question to you. Brake caliper. I'm gonna change the color on this. I'm trying to send a link. It doesn't send now. It doesn't make sense. It's 4K because I get more details when I put it to After Effects and render it again. Well, what is your export? Why don't you, what are you exporting out? Are you exporting out PNGs or JPEGs or something like that? That's why I always export out in EXRs because EXRs is lossless. It's like the most lossless way you can do it. I do EXRs in linear color space and I don't lose quality. I export at DWA or DWAA and I'm able to maintain pretty high quality. Flat black. Oh, is that you that just joined the Discord? Yes, I'm exporting PNG sequences. Well, yeah, you're already lossless. You're already losing quality by exporting PNGs. If you're talking about any major real studio, industrial, like Magic, anything, like they're not exporting out PNGs to anything. They're exporting out EXRs or some custom format that they've built. Yeah, well, you're already yeah, you're already downgrading your quality when you're taking it into After Effects. Does After Effects allow for EXR input? I don't use After Effects. I use DaVinci Resolve, so that's why I'm asking. I'm exporting a PNG sequence. I put it on an image. I put it on Imager, but I can't send it here. I guess. No, you can't. YouTube doesn't let you do that. Yeah, I sent it to you on Discord. My name is on the Discord. Yeah, put it in the general discussion feed. Yes, OFC After Effects supports EXRs. Yeah, man. Well, you should be rocking out the EXRs. But I don't think problem is because of PNGs. Well, if you're talking about quality and sharpness, that's half of it right there. I can tell you that for sure. For sure. I don't export anything out in PNG. Any of my animations that you've seen on YouTube or anywhere, they're all been EXRs because they hold the most data. They hold the most. I mean, the quality between a PNG and a EXR is night and day difference. Let's make this. Let's make this black. All right. Sorry, guys. Hey, what did you say? Let's see. Exporting out sequences. I sent it to your Discord. Okay. Yes, OFC After Effects supports EXRs, but I don't think the problem is because of PNGs. I sent a general discussion now. Yeah, I mean it's not gonna be just PNGs. It all depends on. There's a lot that it's going to dictate why your render's noisy and how to improve the noise. It's gonna be not just one thing. It's gonna be a multiple of things. Hey. Hang on, let me just make this flat black. We're gonna make this flat black. All right, cool. I might change that rim color. I'm not really sure if I'm liking that rim color. Let's see what you got. Uh, alright. Let me see what that looks like on the computer because I can't really see it on my phone. All right, by not looking, not really knowing you're seeing it, not, I can already probably say lighting. We need more lights. Make sure your lights are not being blocked by anything. It looks like you're using heavy denoiser. There's a lot of denoising because I can see this blotchiness. This is a very blotchy, right? And like depth of field, where's the depth of field at? Like I will first look at camera depth of field, make sure we don't have too much depth of field because it's a product shot. You don't really need to have like it all super blurry. And then like the lighting on the actual product is very dim. So like like honestly, like my eye immediately went to the rock. It didn't look at the product. Oh, this is an animation. You said sorry. So I don't know what the animation is doing, but How many lights do you have in your scene? 2 lights? I hope more than 2. And don't use in Octane. I mean, you can, but don't use it. We don't use it for heavy. Like I get a lot of files where people do like in cycles. They always take like an image plane and use an image plane and make it an emissive and use it as lights. That's not. Don't do that in Octane. Like that's not. Lights are not meant to do that. Use real lights. Like I had one scene where he had all these panels, all these planes with emission on them, and he was trying to light the whole scene, and he was wondering why his render was so noisy. And then I literally replaced all his image planes with lights, and it was completely different. I've got 16 lights with light IDs custom setup. 16 lights, bro? Really? What happened to this thing? That wasn't the one. Did it get broken? Something got broken? Man, 16 lights for that? I would say I'm trying to find the file that I. It's not the file. Hang on for a second. Damn it, dude. Where's my... What the heck, dude? Did I not save that version? I know I saved that version. Hang on. Was that last month? Alright, let's try something else. Let me try this one. Something's broken in that file. They are all area lights. Why is... Okay, where's the background on this? Oh, I think I turned it off because I was doing it for a thumbnail. I'm trying to find a product shot that I did for... Okay, even this shot right here, bro, which is not like super crazy, right? It's for a thumbnail. But you can see what I've got going on right here, right? And you know how many lights I'm using? 3 lights, bro. 3 lights. I've got a rim light, a key light, and a fill light. So even if I was just to take this and hang on for a sec, just turn off all the lights. Even if I was to relight it, I'm gonna come in here. Actually, no. I would say 16 lights is. I've from some scenes that my members have given me, I've seen way less lights in that scene, and they were able to achieve way more. So I would say like you need to think about you need to think about lighting, like especially in Octane, how you would in the real world. Now I've actually used to be a lighting guy in professional theater and stuff, right? I've never would be on it. In a theater, we would use literally 60, 70, 80 lights because each light has to do a different scene and stuff like that. But I've been on photo shoots, product commercials, where like we've had 3 or 4, like 3 lights, 4 lights for the main key product. Like seriously, like the whole 3-point lighting setup plus a few more. Maybe accent lighting color that we're splashing on a wall. But I've never been on a shoot for something like a tennis shoe and have 16 lights. I've just never seen in my whole profession of doing lighting. Even when I've been on movie sets and like, you know, the lighting for the scene could be different, but for the key element that was in that scene, there will probably be 1 to 2 to 3 lights and bounce cars, and there'll be more bounce cars and blackboards than there were lights, right? So like I tell the people, like you really when you start lighting in Octane and any 3D package, not just Octane, you really should start thinking like how would you light this in real world? So quickly, like for example, if I was to try to do let's just take like for example, let's just take Dennis here. Okay, let me black out the scene. 1 2 3. All right, 1 2 3. Let me black out the scene, and I'm just gonna show you like I would try to relight your scene with the 3-point lighting setup, maybe 4 lights to the max. So actually, can I just get a shoe? Shoe. Can I get a free shoe? Can we get a free shoe, please? Yes, we can. Just give me, yeah, good old Canvas All-Star. Can never fail with that, right? All right, make sure it's first thing first. I always make sure it's at real world scale. Yes, it is. That's close enough. Okay, hide that. And then let's go ahead and just, I'm not going to like totally mock up exactly what you got here, but I'm just going to do a quick crash course in 3-point lighting, right? And let's grab that. Let's go ahead and turn that on, snap that on, right? GZ, snap that down, boom, there it is. It's sitting on that, right. Actually, matter of fact, we could go just a little bit more fancier, right? How much time do we got? 22 minutes. Okay, let's do this. Let's come over here into my shading really fast, and in our assets, bada bing, bada boom, we're gonna come in here. We're gonna go to Quixel. We're gonna go Quixel Rocks. Okay, that looks good enough. Let's bring that right there. Okay, let's fire this up. Let's get this in position. A little bit better. Let's kind of go like that, right? Let's go like that, right? And let's go like that, right? Okay, okay. Now let's grab our shoe here and let's somewhat kind of do what you're doing, huh? What do you got? You got the shoe kind of rotated on the Y, something like that. Let's kind of GZ it up, right? A little bit. Let me turn off that snapping so it stops getting crazy. Let's get into a camera angle shot here. Let's go live. Let's zoom in on that, something like that, right? Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, that's cool. Let's lock that off. Okay, let's go back to our layout here. I'm actually gonna go layout 2 here. I'm gonna fire up the render down here. You still with me? You still here? Because I don't want to do this if you're not here watching. And then I can go back to my Porsche render. I'm gonna wait for 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bae, you still here? Show me you're alive. Give me a pulse. I know there is a lag there's latency between my stream, almost like 30 seconds or 40 seconds, so I'll kind of finish setting this up. Is anybody there? If nobody's here and I'm doing this, I'm definitely going back to the Porsche render. Let me go back to the stream on my phone. Okay, we do. Oh, hang on. All right, I do see there are people. Actually, I don't know if that says people are watching. You still here? All right, I think we're still here. Anyways, so let's go back. So here it is. I'm gonna light this sucker up. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add in a 3-point lighting setup. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna use my add-on. It's free. You guys can download it. I'm using the camera lighting add-on. I'm gonna add in a, I'm gonna add in. Let's do classic 3-point lighting setup. Apply that. Boom. There it is. Right. Then you've got a background. I've noticed here. Let me see one more time again. That's what I'm trying to mimic as much. You got a background there. Yep, I see you got a background. We'll come in here, add a plane, rotate X, boom, GY it back, something like that. Okay, and then let's even get the same aspect ratio you've got going. Looks like you got 1080 by 1920. All right, 1080 by 1920. You know what I just realized? Can we save presets? Oh, snaps. I can. Why haven't I saved the preset for this a long time ago? New preset. IG. Boom. IG. Did that save it? Let me go back to anything else. Oh, snaps. All this time, dude. How many years have I been using this thing? You learn something new every day. Alright, boom. There it is. Let's kind of bring this down here a little bit. Boom. Okay, boom. There's our shoe. Now I'm going to quickly jump in, and what I would do is get my camera also in the position somewhat that I want it in. Let's click on our camera. There's our camera. Light that up. Camera. And then on my camera here, I'm going to jump into camera. I'm going to go to realistic lens. I'm going to go product shots, mostly time shot with an 85 mil or something kind of close like that. That looks good. I'm going to grab the shoe again also and get a little bit more of an angle on that rotate on the Y. Something like that. GX. Right. Okay, good. And then let's get our focal point also on the camera. Real lens, turn off autofocus. I like to turn on viewport, turn all this on. Limits are on. Yes, they are. And let's quickly turn that on quickly so I can see this. And there it is. Right on the shoe. Boom, there it is. Okay, hide that. All right, good. Now we've got our 3-point lighting set up here. What I like to do is come in and I like to turn off all the lights and just start painting with light. Here's my rim light. Let's turn on our rim light first. Where is my rim light? Here's my fill light. Okay, rim light is probably behind the plane. Yep, it is. There's our rim light here up on the top. So what I'm going to do, jump into the rim and bring the distance in and bring this down and bring this. I actually kind of like that already. We're getting kind of like with that silhouette look that you had, and we're using that light to splash down on the back of this. Kind of something like that. All right. Where's the reference? So it looks like, I don't know what your key light is or where your major key light is. Are you still in the stream? So I'm just gonna try to light the product the way I would like it, because right now it's just like the rock is lit, like, but I don't know if your lights are moving or not. Okay, so I like what that's sitting at, and then I'm gonna come in here, turn on my fill light. Let's grab our fill. I'm gonna actually go back and turn off my rim light because I don't want to see that right now. Fill light, and that's gonna be pretty large. Let's bring it down. Let's bring these closer, because you gotta also think here in these numbers that we're seeing here, meters. This thing is probably far away. Like in real life, we wouldn't have this thing 20 feet away. It will be like right pretty much up on the product. And this is a fairly large box here, so I may just divide that by half and also divide that by half, kind of something like that. Now this is turned in more into a key light. I don't want that. I'm gonna take it down to 10 watts, maybe even 5 watts. All right, so it's kind of something very soft like that. And then let's go ahead and kill. Let me turn the rim light on really fast. Okay, not looking too bad. Kill that. Let's go ahead and kill our fill light. I'm gonna turn on my key light, which is the main light here. I don't like that color. I'm gonna go to 5600. Actually, nope. That was a wrong light. Fill light, key light right here. Yeah, key light 4500. I want it. You know what? Let's leave it at 4500. No, actually, I don't. I don't like 4500. We're gonna go 5600. Okay. Let's bring that into the world because it's way off in the distance. Here's my key light, and it's super hot because it's super big. And let's go ahead and bring that size down. I'm gonna divide that also by half. Divide that by half, and that's cut that power way down to maybe like 25 watts. We probably don't even need it to be that hot, right? 25 watts. Maybe let's go 15 watts to see what that looks like. Actually, I think that looks might be okay. Let's rotate this a little bit more. Kind of like something like that maybe. That's looking kind of cool. Okay. And then let's go ahead and just turn everybody else back on. Let's turn on our fill light, and let's turn on our rim light. And not too moody, not too crazy. So what I will start to do is, okay, now we'll just start playing. Like maybe I'll kind of like that. Maybe I really like that, but it's like, what's the point? What are we lighting? Like just a silhouette of a shoe. So maybe turn this out, and then let's play with this backdrop. GUI, you had like a red color on that, right? So now I will just add in another light. Add in an area mesh light. GZ it up. Up, not that, not a mesh light. We need to add an area light. GZ that up. Typically, we call these in the lighting industry a cyc light because it's literally just lighting the background, and they're very typical, very narrow, and they're mainly aimed at for lighting backdrops. And let's go something like this because it will be aiming just at that. We don't want the color to spill onto the product. We want the color just to be focused on the backdrop. And let me pop into here. And this is way too hot. Let's turn this down to 50. And then you had like red, so we can come down here, red. Saturation, let's bring that value up or something like that. Something like that, right? And then what we can do, maybe even 25. Let's start to play. So what I also would do is grab the shape of this. Possibly. A little bit more narrow, something like that. Let's play with the positioning. GZ. And for a moment here, let me turn this off because I think we're getting some spill light also happening on that. Yeah, that key is also spilling onto that backdrop there. So let's bring this and this light, GUI, even farther back. Why am I working in such a small window? There we go. And let's grab this guy, scale on the X. Alright, maybe GZ him up. Kind of something like that. And then we can shift duplicate, G down, rotate on the X. Kind of playing with what you had there kind of before, that type of feel. Alright. Okay, now let's come back and turn on my key light. Oh, I don't have any texture on this. I forgot to do the texture really quickly. That does look ugly. Let's just quickly, what do we got here in the setup? Diffuse, roughness. Okay, easy setup. We can convert that just by doing my add-on. Boom, boom, there it is. That's converted. Yep, that's converted. Alright. Still doesn't look moody. Like, I would want it to look a little bit more moody than this. Let me turn that key light off one more time. Let's play with this backlight. I do like that. Let's leave that. This fill light. No, let's go back to our key light. Let's maybe make it smaller. Let me grab the size. And let's turn up the power. Let's bring it closer. And actually this rig needs to be a little bit more moved over. It's off my, this is one thing we're adding in the next update is where you can change the orientation of where the light is being. Right now the lights are being orientated off the origin point. The light is clipping into the scene a little bit. That's no problem. We come over here, we turn off visibility. Boom, now it's out of the scene. And let's kind of play with this again here. I'm gonna play with the rotation. It's kind of something like what you have going there. And then let's say this light here, I don't want it to be on. Right, I don't want it to be, maybe I don't want this light to splash onto this rock, okay? So what I'll do is come over to this rock and I'll take off, let's turn off light ID 2. And then I'm gonna grab this light, I'm gonna give it light ID 2, right? So now that light is not casting on that rock, and I'm also gonna click the backdrop and make sure it's not casting onto there, so that's off too, right? So the only light that's really lighting this is that backlight. Okay. So I just see ya. So if I kind of like rotate this, I would maybe do something like that. Hang on 1 second. All right, so that's just like, I mean, I could spend hours tweaking the lighting and getting it all proper, but that was just like, I'm only using 3 lights. Not even 3 lights in this case. I'm using 2 lights. Oh, speaking of lights, there goes my light. My light is getting too hot. Yeah, speaking of lights, this light's getting too hot. So that's why it's doing that. So I gotta turn that light off. It's pretty hot in this room, guys. Like, it's like 30 C. The air can, whatever. Let me just turn this light off because it's gonna be super annoying. Turn up the backup light. All right, there we go. All right, but quickly, the point is, I'm only using. How many lights did we use? How many lights did we use? Oops. Back to the lighting add-on. We use a 3-point lighting. I'm using 2 lights. A backlight, a rim light, and a fill light. Right? And then we've got 2 more lights lighting our backdrop. So we've got 4 lights, dude. Right? We got 4 lights. So 16 lights, I don't see, like, yeah, that's overkill. And and one thing with lighting, guys, like for example, if this light right here was behind this wall, if I bring this wall up and like it's right here, right? GZ, and it's like this is going to add more noise. This light, because of these beams are being blocked, like this will add more noise to your render. With Octane, with most lights in general in 3D, don't block them. Like, if you only want that much of the light to be shown, then make the light that small and put it right there. Don't block lights. It doesn't help your renders, and it makes them more dirty. Don't block lights. Don't have lights clipping in between things. Like, for example, like, don't have lights doing this. Like, it's clipping in between this. This is going to add noise to your renders. Don't do that. Lights really need a clean path of firing their protons or whatever their beams to the camera. It needs a clean path to it, and that helps clean up your renders. I used to, there's tutorials that I used to follow from Silverwing and Octane, and and even in the notation, in the Blender notation, it shows you what not to do, what's going to crank up your render times. And it's like, especially when you're doing architectural visual stuff, don't have lights in the corner. Like, here is the corner of the room. Don't put a light that's half clipping the corner. Don't do that. Don't have lights clipping like this. Keep them nice and clean. If I drop a little knowledge bomb on you guys really quick before I get out of here, let's go, because I gotta finish editing the next video. I'm gonna drop it today, where I'm doing more of the car render stuff, showing that workflow, but in more of an edited, video. It should be like only like 15 minutes. But let me quickly show you something. So when I jump into the Skool, now this is available not just in my community. You can also go and find this for yourself. It's on, I just don't remember where the actual link is. So I go into my Octane YouTubers, and we come right here, the Octane Bible by Scott Benson. We click on this, Octane Bible, right? Come over here to Scott Benson's Behance, or whatever the hell the name of that site is. I'll throw this down in the chat for anybody who's still watching. Right? You gotta show the love. Now, this is for Cinema 4D, but this is using Octane. This is how I learned Octane, guys. I had to reverse engineer it. This is why people pay to join in my community, because they don't want to sit here and read this manual and reverse engineer Cinema 4D to work in Octane Blender. I did that. I spent many months of going through this manual, painstakingly trying to figure out how to do something. You don't have to do that. Ooh, he's added a new section. Oh, I need to go and see. I got to go and do some more studying. You don't have to do that. When you join my community, you pay for me to just tell you this, to give you this information. And other people in our community who know way more about Octane, they help each other. And that's what you're paying for. You're paying for the accelerated time of learning something. You can spend 6 months learning it, or you can pay somebody to teach it to you in 3 weeks. That's what you pay for, right? That's why I paid to join other communities to learn how to do automation I don't, you know, this guy who knows how to do automation, he's been doing it for 10 years. I paid him $95 a month to teach me automation, and I learned in a hell of a lot in 2 months than I would have ever learned on my own. It was the most well spent $200 I've ever spent. I learned so much, so much. So you pay for time, right? That's what I was paying for. So quickly, let me come in here. Where was it? Lighting. Which one is the lighting module? Standard. Okay, lighting and emission deep dive. That wasn't it though. He's changed. Oh, here it is. Interior. Okay, interior only lighting step through. Right. I think it was inside of here. Like, see, he gives us an example of this room with all these different types of lights, and like he shows you, you know, interior lighting step through. What, I'm not gonna read it, but he'll go through and tell you what to do and what not to do. Like, and then he even shows you like the specs of the room that he built out, how to do this, and how this it, you know, works for Octane. Now, see, this is where I'm saying I've reverse engineered this. Like, I'm like, okay, surface brightness. I know where this is on the node in cycles. This is a black body. What is he using? A Gaussian. This is a regular Gaussian spot node. Okay, so this is a lighting node. So you got surface brightness. You got Gaussian spectrum. Right? This is from Cinema 4D. But if I come over here, and if I click on this light, here's our light. Here is the surface brightness, keep power instance, double-sided. Here is that. The Gaussian spectrum node is a separate node, which is in Octane. Octane uses Octane uses the Gaussian spectrum, which is basically all of the colors that are really generated in real life through scientifical madness of the light waves, right? So if I plug this into here, and I come over, actually, if I plug this over into, I think emission, no, I plugged it into diffuse. It's been a while since I've used this, but hang on, wait. Actually, let me take this thing out of that. This basically, if I can get it to work, hang on. Oh, you know why it's not, why is it not working on this? Diffuse, oh, output light. Okay, because I'm using my add-on here. So the setup is a little bit different. But if I come over here and just add in a normal light, hang on. Go to light, area light, GZ it up. There it is, right? Rotate it up so we can see it here. Then if I come back over here, then if we come over here, add in a Gaussian spectrum node. Gaussian spectrum node goes into the texture. No. Yeah, texture. Thank you. How come I'm not seeing it? There it is. Okay, now we're seeing it. This thing basically represents all of the different color waves in light, in real light. So like you can dial in any realistic color value in the real world light. Like here's the width. It's like, it's hardcore science stuff, right? It's hardcore science stuff. But this is how Octane uses for its light system, and that's why Octane has just that look when it comes to lighting, the way the lighting looks. It just has that look, right? So he talks about the difference, like path tracing versus direct lighting kernel, and then again how light affects the area, right? Again, here's his light 25, 25, 75. Like, it's just mad knowledge here, and it takes a long time, and he'll go through all of this. So okay, boom, here we go. Check it out. Lighting, light rays, blah, 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 right? Unblocked. Look at this difference. Then he takes the light and pushes it up into the ceiling, clipping. Look at the difference. Double-sided, half rays are being blocked by the ceiling. Look at the noise. And then you got here, a single-sided with some rays blocked by the wall because it's stuck in the corner. Right there. This is like, I don't like, there it goes. You can't hover over the picture, but boom. This is what I'm saying, like, all of this stuff matters to getting clean renders. So, like, with cycles, it's a little bit more kind and a little bit more lenient, right? But with Octane, to get that look, that beautiful Octane real-world look, there's some rules that need to be applied and some rules that you need to follow. So, quickly in a nutshell, yeah, go through this website and go through some of these modules, guys, and, like, this is how I learned Octane. Here it is. Like, I can recreate this exact setup. right? There's no reason why I can't, because we have the black body emission. Here's the Gaussian spectrum image texture node, which we have, and the texture projection node. We have all of these nodes. It's just Octane. It's just in Cinema 4D. Again, here it is, showing the noise that's being created when you're doing these lights. Like all of that stuff has to do with light linking here, which I just did right there, setting up the pass, light linking enabled. So, all right, guys. Hope that helps anybody who's still stuck around. Didn't get a lot done with the Porsche. Bay, I hope you stuck around for that, bro. I was hooking you up with some knowledge there, and please tell me you stayed. Otherwise, if you didn't, please watch it back on the stream later. So I gotta go, and I gotta answer questions and stuff like that in the community. It's that time now. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you tomorrow. I think I can be back tomorrow again on another stream, 10:30. So we'll probably be back again tomorrow. The only times I can't stream during the week is when I have to be at work at 1:30 because I just have no time. So most of the time, a couple of days out of the week, I will be back to streaming at 10:30 for those of you who stuck around to the stream. All right, guys, links are down below if you guys are interested in any of this jibber jabber I'm talking about. It was helpful. I stayed. Oh, you did stay. Man, why is it not updating in my OBS? What's going on? Like, I just saw your text pop up. What do you mean by automation? Hang on, guys. Hang on. Let's go back. Let me answer some of your questions because my little question bot thing is not working. Why did it not work? Oh, see? Now it's working. Why is it started working now? Yeah, this thing is so late. This thing was so late. Something was gone. Something was off. So I wasn't getting your texts. I should have been watching the stream. Okay, let me back up. I got 16 lights. They're all lights. Yes, I'm listening. Sorry, bro. I didn't even hear it. I'm listening, man. Oh my gosh, the delay is huge. Oh my goodness, I love it. Live streaming, baby. It's all raw. It's all raw. Hang on. Yes, look, I can activate these. Yes, I'm listening. I'm listening, man. Oh my gosh, the delay is huge. You still here? Yes, I'm here. Sorry, brother. Hey man, I joined at the last minute. Bring Rat, what up? What do you mean by automation? Oh, automation? What I meant by automation? That's stuff that I talk about in my daily videos, my daily report videos. Again, I'm trying to do what no other Blender YouTuber is doing. Okay? Hang on. Let's go full screen. Let's go full screen for a minute. How do I go full screen? I have presets and I don't even know which one I'm using. There we go. What I mean by automations and stuff like that is like, again, like I was saying, I want to share everything now. Everything that I'm doing fully transparent with you guys here so you can see my journey of me learning how to make a business, like learning Blender Octane, learning how to build a community, and also learning how to do, like, I'm a one-man crew. Actually, I got one other guy that just started helping me 2 months ago. He helps me with emails and stuff. Like, he does like email letters and he's very good at emailing. So that I just brought him on literally a couple months ago. He actually helped me set up my website. But I'm a one-man crew. I'm a one-man show. It's me, the director, camera operator, marketer guy, editing guy. It's all me. But what I want for me to ultimately maximize the value that I give you guys here on YouTube and that I give my members in my community, I need to start delegating some of this low-level task. I need to delegate those to other things. Now, if I had money, I would hire an editor. I would hire somebody just to do marketing. I will hire somebody just to do my social media, like post to Instagram and post to Facebook and do that. I would hire somebody that, but I don't have that type of money, right? I'm a full-time English teacher and I do this as a hobby. This is my hobby, okay? So I'm building automations to do what that person that I would hire would do. And it's way cheaper, but I have to build it. So what I'm doing here, I'll quickly show you guys here. This is the type of stuff that I'm going to be talking about on my second channel, which I'm actually going to be doing how to do these automations on my second channel. So what I built was Well, earlier in this conversation, I talked about I paid $97 to go to this other Skool community that teaches you about automation. Well, this is what I learned how to do in his community. Actually, hang on. Yeah, okay. This is what I learned how to build. I learned how to build a content database system. And you're looking at this like, what the hell is this, right? This thing here allows me to basically go in and I can go to, I have a custom form that I built, which is like this form here. And I will literally put in a title, a description, and my text. So if I'm out on a run and I'm thinking about something, I grab my phone, I go to this phone, I'll literally just talk to my phone like, are you struggling to make renders? Well, the best way to get better at making renders is to do renders over and over and over, and then eventually you'll get your best render, right? And then once it's done, it will basically come in here and it will take what I just said, and I have all of these on the back end. This is just the front end. This is just the input end. For example, let me show you right here. Let's see. See history. Okay, boom. Here's the history. This was my YouTube. I take my YouTube video and I transcribe it. Literally, I can do it in DaVinci Resolve. It takes everything that I said in my video. Hey guys, are you new here and you want to learn Blender Octane? I got this free 101, whatever. All right, back to the video. Another day, daily report. It transcribed my whole YouTube video. It takes it and I put it into this system, and in this system I say, hey, you know what? I need a title for this video. I need a text for thumbnail hook on this video also. So this is basically my person who designs my titles and my YouTube thumbnails. He doesn't make the thumbnails. It gives me the text for the thumbnails, because AI generated thumbnails are still, I get so much negative comments about it, so I just don't do it anymore, right? And he'll give me a bunch of things like, okay, here's some titles that you can possibly use. How I master nodes in Blender. Why your renders are slow. This one shader setting could change everything based off of the text that I talked about in my video, right? Now, sometimes it's hit or miss and sometimes it's right on. But a lot of times right now it's still hit or miss because I need to tune the system. And then it gives me, like, honestly, right now my thumbnail hook texts are better than the actual titles right now. So like, high value community insight, transfer pain into knowledge, gamify learning. This is all stuff that I was kind of talking about in my YouTube video. So it gives me these, and then I can copy these little text here, and then I'll paste that text into this right here called text on thumbnail. It says how I built my community. How I built my community. Doesn't that sound familiar? Check this out. Check this out. How I built my community. Let's come in here. I think I actually changed it though. Oh, here it is. How I built my community. There it is, right? There's the thumbnail, right? And of course, I changed the title a little bit because the title here was, what was the title? How I accelerated my learning journey, right? So it gave me an idea, and then I just expanded on that idea. So the text from this video was generated from this, and then it even makes the thumbnail for me. What the thumbnail is a totally different system that I built, which I have all of these. This is just the front end of the system, guys. This doesn't actually do automation. This is just input and output. I'm going to show you the actual back end of the system here, where all the magic happens. This is the automation part. Hang on, let me sign in first. You still here? You still with me? Here we go again. I know there's a delay. Let me quickly sign in. Yeah. Rat, you still here? Probably not, but anyways, it's all good. Now, I use this software here called Make Automation. Let me go down to my main automation. Make is a no-code automator. Like, before You would have to know how to do coding, Python coding, and all kinds of crappy coding to do what I'm basically doing on here. This is like literally like drag and drop. Like if you know how to do nodes in Blender, you can do these automations. It's seriously. So this is my whole content database system on the back end. That one file that you saw, that this is the hook to that file. So it sends all the data to my Airtable. It gets the record, and then I can tell it different actions that I want it to do. I can tell it like, you know what, I want you to make that thumbnail, right? So once I do that, once I tell it to make that thumbnail, it comes over here. I go to actions, and I can do all of these different things. I can turn my text into an article, Instagram caption, AI video, a Instagram reel, content clone. I can clone the content. I can do a YouTube script, a tweet, an email, a school post, a YouTube title, or a YouTube thumbnail, right? I can convert it. And what I do is, for the images, I have to build templates. So like this background is the template, and then it just changes the text out. Hey, pick one Blender skill to focus on, right? Get better than average at that one thing. Share your work and help others with it. DM me if you're ready to grow your 3D skills. This was all based off of that video that I was talking about. You got some ideas, and then on the back end, oh, where did it go? Did I just close it? Did it just close? Oh, what the heck, dude? Where did it go, guys? Oh, there it is. So each one of those option goes to one of these rows. Each one of these rows does something different. It grabs my document, which was my transcript of the YouTube video. ChatGPT comes in here, and this ChatGPT module's only job is to make short scripts, and then it brings it to my Google Drive, and then it brings it back to my Airtable, back to that table, so I can access it. And then it's the same thing with like down here with my thumbnails. Like I made some templates for my thumbnails, and then it's gonna grab each one. Like I want the looking up template, or the frustrated template, or the taking notes template, and then it'll generate the thumbnail. And then I come back here and, like, for example, plastic. I come over here and I use this program, which lets me build dynamic templates. The system's real. I mean, I learned this all just in like 2 months, literally. These are my templates, right? Right here, these are my templates. So this text right here is dynamic. It can change based off of whatever I put in this slot right here. I can put the text in, and then that text gets put on whatever thumbnail that I choose here. So these are like quick thumbnails that I can pump out really fast by a click of a button. And then, for example, boom, here, photons over path tracing, boom, 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 boom. And then it goes through the automation, and then boom, photons over path tracing, right? And I can quickly done that. So literally, for me to do my daily report videos, it takes me about, minus the time to record the actual video, but from start to finish, it takes about 25 minutes for me to edit, upload, and be done with it. 25 minutes. Before, it used to take me an hour and a half because I have to think of a thumbnail, think of a title, make the thumbnail, do like, it was just, it's too much. It takes too long. I couldn't put out as much as I want to. This is allowing me to actually make content every day because of this system that I'm building right here. And I'm constantly tweaking it. I'm constantly adding stuff to it. I can post straight to like Instagram or LinkedIn. Certain things I can post straight to. Like YouTube, I still do it manually because I like to do that. But this is all because of me learning automation, right? Not animation, automation. So this is the type of stuff I'm going to be talking about on my second channel, which is One Polygon with me. Oops. Oops. Oops, not that. Where the heck am I? Close. On this channel here, I'm going to be talking about how I build these systems and more about the back end of me building and doing content creation and making YouTube stuff like that here. So right here, One Skool with me. This channel is all focused on the back end stuff right here. My daily reports all come on this channel here. And yeah, so sorry if I was boring some of you guys about this, but yeah, Just want to share as much value as possible. Do what no YouTuber, Blender YouTuber is doing. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Anybody else? Did anybody stay around for that? Oh, we got 2 people who still around for that. See you tomorrow. I'm out, guys. Peace. Let's do it later. How do I say later? Let's go. Where's my other See, I think that's why I don't get your guys' texts, because this thing turns off my text box. Oh, there it is. See you. Bailey, what up? See ya. Yeah, I don't know why my text things were coming in so late. It seems like yeah, that's still not what I was looking for. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Like, I don't know if this has to stay open or the other thing has to stay open, but whatever.